Hello and welcome to a special, very special bonus episode of Jollyville Radio. We're taking a break on creating our regular episodes, but I've got a very special guest here in Purple Street Studios with me. This is Michael Crosa speaking, by the way. And with me here is Uncle Wilhelm.
Oh, hello. How are you doing, dear Michael?
I am doing very well, and I'm very excited to have you here. Tell me where are you from, Uncle Wilhelm?
Well, I am from the country called Holland, which is, many people say we are Dutch because we speak a form of German there.
Okay.
So
cool.
But for over 400 years ago, people have been coming to America and from all over the world. And some of the people came from my little country of Holland. And we came to a little island that we called New Amsterdam. And we settled there. And we spoke the language called Dutch. And we had some interesting customs. And we brought from Holland to America. And some of those customs had to do with Christmas. You see, some of the Dutch wore wooden shoes because the leather was so expensive. And when Christmas Eve came around, the Dutch children would put their wooden shoes out on their doorstep for a man they called Sinterklaas, which a lot of people call St. Nicholas, who would put out treats and toys in their shoes if they were good children. But do you know what they would do if they were bad little children?
What's that?
They would find sticks and stones and rotten potatoes in their shoes on Christmas morning. Can you imagine putting your foot into your shoe and your toes feel the rotten potatoes?
Oh, gross. That's nasty.
It is. And after a while, some English people decided they wanted to sell amongst the Dutch people. And their children all became friends, which is what America does. Lots of people become friends. The English children had a tradition similar to the Dutch children, only it was Father Christmas who came around to leave the goodies for the children instead of Sinterklaas. The Dutch children couldn't pronounce Father Christmas very well, as the English children do, so they convinced the English children that Sinterklaas was the easier to say. But the English children couldn't say Sinterklaas very well either, in the way that the Dutch said it. And can you try to say it? Try saying Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas.
Well, what does it sound like? I'll bet it sounds a lot like Santa Claus. And that's the way it has been ever since. Sinterklaas, whose Father Christmas, became Santa Claus. Now, if you'd like, Michael, I could read you an old story about Santa Claus. In this story, his name is St. Nicholas, which was the original Father Christmas. And as we now know, there's also Sinterklaas and Santa Claus.
Yes, I love stories. Yes.
Oh, good. The story is called The Night Before Christmas. And it was written by an American by the name of Clement Moore. And if you have any children listening, maybe they should get the book out so they could follow along. It was the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. All the stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children had nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Ma in her kerchief and I in me cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. Then out onto the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. Oh, the moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. Then what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and he shouted and he called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before of our hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop his coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys on St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each tiny hoof. As I threw in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. Oh, his eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. Now the stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook and he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. Now he spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, filled all of the stockings and turned with a jerk, laying a finger aside of his nose. Giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Well, how'd you like that, Michael Crosa?
Wow, that was amazing.
Did you like it?
That was so fun. That was so much fun. Holy smokes. And I got the benefit of seeing the performance too. Wow.
Yes, lots of fun.
That was so much fun. Uncle Wilhelm, thank you so much.
Oh, very welcome. Very welcome.
Treating us to a wonderful story. We want to wish
sometime I'll have to do some other things for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to have you back. We love that sort of thing here.
Okay, great.
So, well, we want to wish everyone who's listening a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Habari Gani, Happy New Year, anything else that everyone's celebrating this holiday season. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Check out the website, definitely. Make it funky, y'all. JOLLYVILLE. Funny skits and jokes in every episode wraps up with community B. One more time, say JOLLYVILLE.